And it can't be a day without crypto, with Bank of America out recently with its debut report in the space, saying the currency is just in its first innings. That helped push Bitcoin to again break above 51,000 US dollars and prompting some bulls in the market to lift their short-term target to 56,000. For his take, Matt Harry from DigitalX joins us right now. Now, for people like you, Matt, that have been in the business from the get-go, this is just another step towards credibility for those skeptics that are out there when it comes to that Bank of America report.
Absolutely. Nice to be here, Annette, and thank you for having me. Yeah, really interesting this week. You mentioned there the Bank of America report. So that's the world's second largest bank behind JP Morgan Chase. They released a no less than 142-page report into Bitcoin and digital assets. They're saying that the market has become now far too big to ignore and that it is here to stay. So very, very positive. They pointed to decentralized applications as having the potential to bring financial services to the 1.7 billion citizens around the globe that are currently unbanked. So the report also mentioned a tripling in the user base of digital assets in the last 12 months to 220 million users. So quite an interesting and impressive statistic in its own right. But they said that that was actually only just scratching the surface, and that they expected digital asset and blockchain technologies that they would be set to transform most industries over the next 30 years. So really very forward looking there. They pointed to a massive increase in traditional space and VC style investment into the digital asset markets over the past 18 months, citing, I think it was a total of 5.5 billion US dollars from VCs into crypto businesses during 2020, with a massive increase during the first half of 2021 alone to 17.1 billion. So really strong positive stuff from out of one of the biggest players in the industry and some of the smartest investment minds on the planet. So really, really positive overall for the market.
Do you think, I'm sure everyone else is doing the same thing, maybe BOA hit the send button first. I mean, as you know, the head of the US SEC was well known for calling crypto the Wild West. Will these reports start to feed into the credibility from a regulatory point of view?
Look, absolutely. And I think, there were other regulators. I mean, we heard from the chair of the Federal Reserve this week, Jay Powell, who said that the Fed was not looking to regulate the digital asset market. That was what sparked this rally initially and took Bitcoin off its lows around 40,000 US dollars. And then we've heard sort of continued rumblings and rumors around the potential for an SEC approved Bitcoin ETF to hit the market as early as mid to late October. So overall, that saw Bitcoin rally around 25 to 30% off its lows, currently sitting above 51,000 US dollars. And yeah, most of it is based on regulatory rumblings. I would, however, provide a word of caution here. While most of those rumblings have been quite positive this week, I think at some point Washington will look to attempt to tame the crypto beast in some way. You mentioned Gary Gensler there, the head of the SEC. As recently as last week, he did say that the SEC has a particularly poor view of stablecoins, DeFi applications, that's decentralized finance, and lending products, saying that the SEC would more than likely classify those as securities and therefore more than likely regulate them out rather than regulate them in. So while there's some really positive things happening on a regulatory front, always with a word of caution around regulatory risk in this market for sure.
And of course, in Australia, there's even dolly steps when it comes to down here. In the meantime, the people are speaking, and Twitter, you can tip with Bitcoin. So that's all the rage now.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. So Twitter's launched this functionality where users can tip each other using Bitcoin for the creation of content. Now, whether you think that's a good idea or not, it's a whole other conversation, but it is working incredibly well. It actually works on the Strike app, which is a Bitcoin wallet, and runs on the Lightning Network. So the Lightning Network is a layer 2 scaling solution that sits on top of the Bitcoin blockchain, and it effectively enables faster and cheaper Bitcoin transactions. So what we're seeing working really well at the moment through this Twitter platform is people making instantaneous payments 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to anywhere on the planet without needing to use banking channels. Truly remarkable, and a huge leg up for the whole industry, and certainly got everyone quite buzzing about what this particular application could mean in the future.
Yeah, I think let the people decide on that one. And just finally, Brazil is stepping up. It's joining its counterparts, for example, in El Salvador, in embracing Bitcoin. Why does it seem to be the emerging markets that are moving first?
Look, I think it makes sense for smaller nations. Not that Brazil is a smaller nation. I mean, the 12th largest economy on the planet. So this is not an economic backwater. This is really significant. But I think it makes sense for a lot of smaller nations and regain their autonomy. So this week in Brazil, we saw lawmakers. They've proposed a bill to regulate Bitcoin and other digital assets, basically. This week, they proposed an updated draft to make Bitcoin itself a legal payment currency. So, look, it's stopping one step short of making Bitcoin or giving Bitcoin legal tender status, but perhaps it is one step on a process towards doing that in Brazil. Brazil's proven really quite progressive in this space. The regulators in Brazil have approved already 4 Bitcoin and digital asset exchange traded funds, and we expect a decision on this particular legalization as a payment currency issue by the end of this week. So again, very positive stuff. And as I say, 12th largest economy, potentially legalizing Bitcoin as a payment currency is a really big deal. It can't be underestimated.
No, that's right. The freight train is moving. It's just a matter of who's getting on board. Thank you so much for updating us in that space there, Matt. Cheers.
You're welcome, Annette. Bye for now.